Welcome students for the subject Control System 2, Unit number 3, Stability Analysis. Under this heading, today we will learn the contents which are as follows. First we will learn the relation between Z plane and S plane, that means relation between Z and S domain. Mapping of left half of S plane into Z plane. Stability criteria. Jury stability test, necessary and sufficient conditions for this jury stability test, and we will also see some numericals for the testing this controllability of that system, stability of that system. So first, relation between Z and S domain. Consider a signal R of t which is sampled at the rate of 1 upon t samples per second. The discrete values are represented by R of kt. The Z transform of this discrete value is R of Z is equal to summation R of kt into Z raised to minus k, where k has limit 0 to infinity. So this is by definition of Z transform. Our original signal is R of t, and this R of t, its Z transform will be given by this way. The impulse sampled signal is then represented as, so when that signal R of t is sampled, it will become R star of t. So R star of t is equal to summation R of kt into delta of t minus kt, k having limits from 0 to infinity. Taking the Laplace on both sides, we have, so this Laplace will be having S domain. So R star S is equal to summation R of kt e raised to minus kst, limits of k from 0 to infinity. We know that Z has value e raised to st. So if Z is equal to e raised to st, then our above equation will become R star S is equal to summation R of kt Z raised to minus k having limits k equal to 0 to infinity, and that is presented as R of Z. Note that when Z is equal to e raised to kt or S is equal to 1 upon t ln Z, so ln Z means natural log, then the impulse Laplace becomes Z transform. Therefore, the transformation Z equal to e raised to st or S is equal to 1 upon t ln Z maps the S plane mapping into Z plane mapping. Consider the mapping Z equal to e raised to st on the j omega axis in the S plane. That means Z is equal to e raised to st. Put the value of S as j omega, it will become e raised to j omega t. Then we will see by using this equation how the mapping of left half of S plane into Z plane is done. We know that sampling frequency omega s is given by relation 2 pi upon t. So from this what will be t? T will be 2 pi upon omega s. So put these values of s and t in this equation. So when Z is equal to e raised to st, it will become e raised to j omega, which is the value of s, and t has value 2 pi upon omega s. T has value 2 pi upon omega s. So by simplifying it, it will be e raised to j 2 pi into bracket this omega upon omega s. Hence this z becomes 1 angle 2 pi into bracket omega upon omega s. So magnitude is 1, okay, and it means it is the unit circle in the Z plane. This unit circle is a mapping of the section of j omega axis, and what is limit for that? From minus j omega s by 2 to plus j omega s by 2 in the S plane into the Z plane in anti-clockwise direction, and this is shown in the next figure. See this figure? That figure is like this. See relationship between S plane and Z plane. This right side figure is Z plane having two axes. X axis is real Z, y axis is imaginary Z. So we have a magnitude 1. So this is minus 1 plus 1. Imaginary part plus j minus j. And when we map that S plane having these 2 points, this is plus j omega s by 2 and this is minus j omega s by 2. this will map into z plane into this anti-clockwise direction. In this mapping, the entire left half S plane is mapped into the interior of the unit circle. This mapping reveals that the S plane stability criteria of the poles of S domain transfer function lying in the left half of S plane will become the Z plane stability criteria, that all the poles of the Z transfer function would be within the unit circle. So that is the stability criteria. It should be within the Z circle. Stability criteria. The input-output relation of a discrete system is C of Z is equal to H of Z upon R of Z. We know all terms where H of Z is the Z transfer function of the system. Let us assume that A1, A2 up to An are the simple and distinct pole of the given system. That means C of Z is equal to H of Z. C of Z is equal to H of Z. Why? R of Z we have assumed as a unity, and hence C of Z will become H of Z, and that will be given as A1 upon Z minus A1 plus A2 upon Z minus A2 plus up to An upon Z minus An. The corresponding discrete time output sequences. So when this is C of Z, its discrete output sequence will be given as C of Kt, and that is equal to A1 into A1 k raised to minus 1 plus A2 into A2 raised to k minus 1 plus up to An into An bracket raised to k minus 1. This is valid for k greater than equal to 1. From this equation, it is clear that the system impulse response, that means when R of Z is 1, we assume here R of Z is 1, decays or zeros if the mod of Ai is less than 1 for I equal to 1 to up to n. So, all the poles of the system's pulse transfer function must lie within the unit circle in the Z plane. Hence, the criteria for stability is that all the poles of pulse transfer function PTF must lie within the unit circle. In other words, roots of characteristic polynomials, which are nothing but the poles of closed loop pulse transfer function, must lie within the unit circle. So this is the stability criteria. Poles must lie within the unit circle in the Z plane. We will see test for stability given by juries. There are two tests. In this lecture we will see what is the jury's test for stability. This is an algebraic test similar in form to the Routh-Hurwitz approach that determines whether the roots of a polynomial lie within the unit circle. As for Routh-Hurwitz, the test consists of two parts. First, simple test for necessary conditions, and second, test for sufficient condition. So there are such two parts, necessary condition and sufficient condition. For a polynomial of the form f of z is equal to an z raised to n plus an minus 1 z raised to n minus 1 up to a0, where an is greater than 0, the necessary conditions for stability are given by this way. So what is the necessary condition? First is that f of 1 should be greater than 0. And second necessary condition is that minus 1 raised to n into f of minus 1 should be greater than 0. So what is this f of 1? We will put value of z as 1. So that will be f of 1 equal to put this z value as 1, and when you will get the final value, it should be positive, that means it should be greater than 0. Similarly, this is the second condition. Now we will see what are the sufficient conditions for stability that are obtained by juries, and for that purpose that table is given, and this table is known as jury's table. So see, these are the number of rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 2n minus 3, and this will be given by our characteristic equation. So this is A0, A1, A2 up to AN. What is this A0, A1, A2? We assume here. See, this is A0, A1, A2 and this will be last AN. Suppose our n is 4. So what will be our equation? A4 z raised to 4 plus A3 z cube plus A2 z square plus A1 z plus A0 equal to 0. And these coefficients A0, A1, A2, A3, these are used to draw the jury's table and it will be like this. See, this is A0, A1, A2, A3 up to suppose A4. And this second row is just the reverse order of first row. See, this is last term AN, here it is first. Last but one AN minus 1, this is AN minus 1. So, first row is written by given polynomial. Second row is just reversed order of first row. Then we will write third row. We have to find coefficients B0, B1, B2 up to Bn minus 1. So if n is assumed as a 4, it will be B3. Hence you have to find B0, B1, B2 up to only B3. Again fourth row is reversed of third row. So it will be B3, B2, B1 and B0. So last term will be B0. Then you will find C0, C1, C2, row number 5. Its reverse will be row number 6. And in this way you will find how much rows? Up to 2n minus 3. Okay. So if n is 4, it will be 4 into 2, 8 minus 3, 5. So you have to write such 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to this you have to find this jury's table. Now from this, how we will find B0 and so on. So where Bk is given as this determinant, Ck is like this, Dk is like this. So we will find B0, B1, B2, C0, C1, C2, D1, D2 and so on by using this determinant. And from this, the sufficient conditions for stability are given by this way. And these are known as n minus 1 conditions. So first condition is that A0 must be less than AN. B0 should be greater than Bn minus 1. And C0 should be greater than Cn minus 2. Again we will assume n is 4. So A0 should be less than A4. B0 should be greater than B3. C0 should be greater than C2. And these are known as n minus 1 conditions. So what are these? These are sufficient conditions. So by jury stability there are two conditions. First is necessary conditions. These are the two. So these two are necessary conditions. And what are sufficient conditions? These are sufficient conditions. These are known as n minus 1 conditions. We will clear this by taking simple numerical. Characteristic equation is given as z square minus z plus 2 equal to 0. First we will check necessary conditions. So first we will find f of 1, it should be positive. So when you will put value of z as 1, this f of 1 will become, this z square means 1 square minus 1 plus 2. So it will become 2 which is greater than 0. So f of 1 is greater than 0, hence this condition is satisfied. Second condition, minus 1 raised to n into f of minus 1. So put this z as minus 1. So minus 1 square, why square? Because n is 2. So minus 1 raised to n means minus 1 square into f of minus 1. What is f of minus 1? Minus 1 square minus 1 plus 2. This is minus 1 square minus 1 plus 2. And by solving this, the answer is 4, which is positive, greater than 0, and hence this second necessary condition is also satisfied. But from this we can't clear that the system is stable or not, because we have to again verify, we have again check the sufficient conditions. Now sufficient condition is that A0 should be less than AN. Our n is 2. So A0 should be less than A2. We will check whether it is less than or not. So sufficient conditions. We will write that row. By this A0 is 2. This is A0. This is A1. This is A2. So A0 is 2. A1 is minus 1 and A2 is 1. And A2, again we will write this second row as a reversed. Okay. To check this condition, A0 is 2, mod of 2 is 2 and A2 is 1. What is our criteria? A0 should be less than A2. So 2 less than 1, it is not true, and hence system is unstable. So it is clear that for stability, the necessary as well as sufficient conditions must be satisfied. If any one condition is not satisfied, we can say that system is unstable. Again, we will check another numerical. See, determine the stability by using Jury's stability analysis of the system whose characteristic equation is given by f of z is equal to 5z square minus 2z plus 2 equal to 0. Okay. So, this f of z, this is A0, this is A1 and this is A2. So, it is A2z square minus plus A1z plus A0. So, what is A2? A2 is 5. What is A1? A1 is minus 2 and A0 is 2. Test for necessary condition. F of z is given as this. So, first we will find f of 1. So, f of 1 should be positive. When you will put z as 1, 5 into 1 minus 2 into 1 plus 2, that is 5, and 5 is greater than 0. So, first necessary condition is satisfied. Another necessary condition is, what is that? Minus 1 raised to n into f of minus 1. Here n is 2. So, minus 1 square into f of minus 1 will be 5 into minus 1 square minus 2 into minus 1 plus 2, and this becomes 9. Again 9 is greater than 0. So, second condition is also satisfied. The system satisfies the necessary condition, and so system may be stable. We are not confirmed because it has satisfied only necessary conditions. For system to be stable, it should also satisfy sufficient conditions. To test the sufficient condition, the Jury's table is constructed. The number of rows in the table will be 2n minus 3. What is our n? N is 2. Okay. And so, 2n minus 3 will be 2 into 2, 4 minus 3. So, 2 into 2, 4 minus 3 equal to 1. So, there is only one row. And what is that one row? A0, A1, A2. So, it is 2 minus 2, 5. What is our condition? A0 should be less than A2. Our A0 is 2 and A2 is 5. So, 2 is less than 5. The sufficient condition is satisfied and hence the system is stable. So, this is the simplest way to determine the stability of the discrete time control system using Jury's test. Another test is bilinear transformation, and we will see this bilinear transformation test in next lecture. So, we will stop here. Thank you.